Today I'm going to share 5 filmmaking niches that are blowing up right now that you probably haven't thought of yet. I'll outline how you can get your first client in each of them and why these industries are perfect for those who want to make 6 figures a year as a videographer. What's up, creators? And in case you're new to this channel and don't know already, my name is Anthony Gallo. I've been a freelance videographer for years, and when I first started taking this career seriously, I would do basically anything that people would pay me for. Real estate, weddings, commercials, music videos, concerts, sports, travel and tourism. The list goes on. I'm not a huge Hollywood filmmaker by any means, but I've been around the block quite a bit and I have experience in a ton of different industries. On top of that, I help run a filmmaking community online with my partner, Paul Xavier, that has almost 15,000 people in it. So we're seeing a lot of data from videographers at all different skill levels, what jobs they're landing, how much they're charging, how often they're landing these jobs, and so on. With all of that data, I think I have a pretty good outlook on our industry as a whole and a lot of insight when it comes to where people should get started. But enough of the backstory here, let's dive into these industries, why I think you should seriously consider them, and how you can get started. Up first, we have live streaming. Now, I know you may not think this is the sexiest industry to get started in, but there are a lot of reasons why you should really look into this. Remember, business is all about solving people's problems, helping them achieve some result that they can't achieve on their own. The most profitable entrepreneurs in the world are those who can anticipate new trends of problems and act quickly, finding solutions to help those people. When COVID initially hit, tons of businesses and events were left with no option besides shifting their entire infrastructure online. Because of that, the need for live streaming skyrocketed, and now a year later, it's only continued to grow. Personally, I don't do much live streaming work, but I've worked with several different filmmakers who consistently land live streaming gigs for well over $10,000 a job. In fact, one of them landed a $10,000 per month job with a local church. That's over $100,000 per year from one client. When he told me that, I was like, man, there are so many big churches out there that desperately need people to help them. And that's just one business. There are tons of other businesses and industries that consistently need live streaming services. Now, streaming does require you to have a slightly more specialized skill set than, say, real estate videos, and you'll likely need some additional gear, but with that in mind, it means that the barrier to entry is higher, and in other words, that's less competition. This is a perfect example of low supply and high demand, every entrepreneur's dream. But how do you land your first live streaming gig so you can get started in this industry? Well, you need to learn how to identify businesses with a problem that live streaming can solve. Churches are one example. They have weekly events that not everyone can attend. If they want to keep engagement up, they need to remain in front of their members. Conference centers that can no longer accommodate large groups need to have live streaming services on standby so that they can still deliver their services to their clients. I actually even helped my local health club client set up a live streaming studio in their gym so that they can continue charging their members who didn't want to come in to attend the group classes. You can get super creative with the problems you help solve for people. The key is to learn how to identify them. Once you have that, you simply send a message offering to help. There is no secret to sales. If you can solve a problem for someone, they will gladly pay. Reach out to as many businesses as you possibly can via email, LinkedIn, even messaging their social media pages. Ask to hop on a Zoom call and explain how you can solve their problems. Don't just come out and say, I want you to buy this service from me. I want to sell to you, sell to you, sell to you. People can smell salespeople from a mile away, so always come from the position of offering your help. All right, niche number 2 is social media advertising for local businesses. This is an industry that I focus most of my time in, and it's how my business generates over 6 figures a year. Granted, I'll still take on jobs outside of this niche if they really excite me, but for the most part, I have a group of clients that all pay on a monthly basis, and I consistently create them new content and also manage the advertising campaigns, generating leads and sales for their businesses. Nowadays, businesses typically need a lot more than just one commercial. They need to be in front of their customers on a consistent basis. But if you're hiring a videographer to shoot a commercial every time you need content, that bill is going to get steep fast to the point where it's not worth their time or money. What I do is shoot content once every few months and then edit small commercials from that content on a regular basis so they always have new commercials to release, but I don't need to constantly go in and shoot new content. I just pull from the footage that we've already shot. Now, most of my clients have been with me for years now, paying consistently each month. So we have a massive amount of footage, like terabytes per client. And whenever they need a new creative, I don't actually even have to leave my house anymore. I just pull from the terabytes of footage we already have. I love this because it is very streamlined. It takes me very little time to manage each client, and they all pay monthly, so I know exactly how much I'm making each month. And I can use the free time to create content for YouTube, our courses, or pursue other areas that I'm passionate about. As more businesses realize the necessity of social media advertising, the demand for this service is only going to increase. I also love how naturally you can level up in this niche. You can get started shooting small projects for small local businesses and gradually increase your deal size over time, working your way up to multi-million-dollar businesses and nationwide franchises like the Generator Supercenter commercial I shot a few months back. You also don't need crazy expensive gear to get started in this niche. In fact, I regularly incorporate cell phone testimonials in my clients' commercials, and I've even run entire ads made up of just cell phone footage. It goes to show that the marketing message is a lot more important than the quality of the footage. But how do you land your first client? It sounds like a daunting task, I'm sure. And a lot of beginners will think there is some magic secret that experienced filmmakers use to have jobs just falling in their lap right and left. And I promise you, almost everyone overcomplicates the sales process when they first get started. You really just need to have conversations with people. Don't tell yourself that you aren't good enough, you're not ready, or you need more gear. These are all limiting beliefs we use to justify waiting rather than taking action. Almost every business on the planet has a social media page. Make a commitment to send 10 messages per day to 10 different businesses. You could say, hey, I love your business. I'd love to help you get your brand in front of tons of new people. If you're open to it, I'd love to have a chat with you about capturing everything your business has to offer on video. Then, if you have any previous work, send that to them as well. And if not, maybe considering offering to do one shoot for free to get a head start on your portfolio. I promise you, if you can build up the courage to send 10 messages per day, you will have paying clients in no time. I always like to ask people who complain about not having work, how many messages have you sent in the past week? Usually it's because they literally have sent nothing, and it baffles me how people expect to land jobs without reaching out to people. Anyways, before diving into the next category, if you're finding this content valuable, it would be super awesome if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel. Then let us know in the comments what type of business-related content do you want us to talk about in our next video. We're always open to suggestions. But all right, niche number 3 is product videos. Now, product videos are definitely growing in popularity due to YouTubers like Daniel Schiffer, but aside from all the trendy and epic B-roll videos that we all love to shoot, it's actually a really good industry to start working in. Every business in the world that sells physical products should have product videos. In fact, one study found that 79% of people would prefer to watch a video to learn about a product compared to reading the text on the page. And a single video can increase conversion rates, aka sales, by 80%. And that right there is a stat that you should use in every sales conversation moving forward. Another thing I love about product videos, unlike working with local clients, what's great about this niche is you can easily work with any business in the world, they just have to send the products to you. When your potential market size is that big, the opportunities are endless. It's also really easy to build up a portfolio of product video work because you probably have 10 products in your bedroom right now that you could easily create a spec ad for. Not only will you hone your craft by practicing with products like you already own, like your favorite pair of shoes, but it'll also be much easier to sell prospects on the idea of hiring you when they can see multiple examples of videos you've already shot. Not only can you land big deals with clients that pay very well, you can also get them on retainers similar to what I do with my local business clients. All of these companies will need a lot more than just one video, so you can lock them into retainer contracts where they pay you every month like clockwork. When you're just starting out, look for smaller companies selling products you really care about. It could be your favorite coffee mug, the company that makes the wallet or purse you use every day, your favorite sock brand, it doesn't really matter. Reach out to them in the same fashion that we've already outlined in this video. I mean, you could even go above and beyond and offer an insane amount of value to the company upfront by shooting them a quick video for free without them even knowing, and then send that to them as a quick example of all the potential your two businesses could tap into by working together on a consistent basis. Best case scenario, you just landed an awesome deal with a great client, and worst case scenario, you got awesome practice refining your craft while also creating a piece you can leverage in your portfolio to land future clients. All right, niche number 4 is remote editing. Now, this is more of a service offering than a specific industry, but there are so many people who are in desperate need of remote editors. Again, the need for video content is skyrocketing, and it will continue to skyrocket for a very long time. Compartmentalizing the process of releasing content can add tons of value to a business's workflow. Personally, I have 2 remote editors working part-time for us, helping with all of the content we're constantly releasing. Whether that's for our courses, our clients, our YouTube channel, we just do not have the bandwidth to edit everything ourselves, so we pay remote editors to work with us and compartmentalize our workflow. On top of that, as someone who hires remote editors, I can tell you it's extremely hard to find people who specialize in remote editing. You have no idea how many people, like me, are desperately searching for someone like you. If you can build up the courage to ask people, you could be very surprised how many clients you can land. There are tons of YouTube channels, course creators, social media influencers, and other businesses out there that are constantly shooting content, but falling behind with their edits. I mean, we could probably all relate to that. You could even reach out to 10 different wedding filmmakers in your area and offer to start editing their wedding videos for them. I don't take on weddings anymore, but towards the end of that phase of my career, I was paying a team of remote editors to edit literally every wedding video I had, and I was very happy to pay them because they saved me so much time, allowing me to focus on other areas of my business and as a whole, generate more revenue. Now, I would say that the income potential for this does hit a certain threshold, since you can only edit so many videos and charge so much for it. But for beginners looking to quickly start generating some income while having flexibility to travel and work from wherever they like, this can be a really awesome gig. And like I said, the demand is skyrocketing for this. You're also going to hone your craft extremely fast because you'll be editing so much. And finally, if you do build out a solid network of clients, you can actually build a team of remote editors working for you, which will allow you to scale your business well beyond 6 figures. But all right, moving on. Finally, niche number 5 is really 2 different industries altogether, but it's kind of a catch-all for the 2 most common types of jobs I see people getting started in when they first pick up a camera. This is weddings and real estate videos. So yes, they're obviously 2 different jobs, but I grouped them together because you're probably already familiar with the idea of shooting either weddings or real estate videos, and we don't need to spend too much time talking about them. What's great about these verticals is that you can get started very easily. I would bet that almost everyone has at least one person in their extended family or friend group that's getting married. If you were to post on Facebook asking if anyone knows someone getting married, odds are you'd find plenty of couples. Same goes for real estate. Right now, I have like 5 friends that are real estate agents, and growing up, a ton of my parents' friends were also real estate agents. In fact, the first time someone ever paid me for a video was a friend's parent who was an agent in our town that needed a video made of a house that they're selling. Having personal connections with potential clients is like low-hanging fruit. It's very easy to land those first few jobs, charge a lower rate, but then quickly increase what you charge as you land each new client. Especially right now with weddings, we had basically an entire year where weddings were either delayed or couples have just been holding off. That means there is a massive wave of people planning their weddings right now. All of that overflow from last year means an extremely high demand for wedding video right now, something that you could easily cash in on. And real estate is great as well. They're relatively easy to get started shooting compared to maybe commercial work or product videos. The only drawback I have with both of these industries is the fact that the competition is relatively high. But again, the counter to that is, well, competition is higher because it's such a great market to focus on as a new filmmaker. So long story short, I had to mention weddings and real estate videos because practically every freelance videographer I know that's making a decent income started in one of those 2 industries. Weddings was my niche for about 2 years. It's where I made my first 6 figures before eventually moving on to niche down in the commercial space. And that right there is another huge lesson in this industry. Don't think that just because you're niching down, you are married to doing that one type of work for the rest of your life. That's not the case, and you can always switch things up. And again, just speaking from experience, I started with a heavy emphasis on weddings. I made enough money to upgrade my gear and slowly get started building up my commercial network before finally diving 100% into the commercial advertising space. If I ever wanted to, I could absolutely go back to doing weddings again. I just don't think I ever will because I've gotten my skill level to a point with commercial advertising where I make more money than I would with weddings. Now, other filmmakers are the complete opposite. Working with businesses doesn't jazz them up, and they've gotten their skill level to a point with weddings where they're charging 5, 6, or even 7K for individual jobs. So really, the main takeaway from this video should be 1, opening your eyes to a few of the many opportunities out there, and 2, that the perfect niche for you is the client that you're most excited to work with. That could be fashion, music videos, product videos, travel and tourism. Ask yourself, if money were not involved, what would make you the absolute happiest person in the world? Then do everything in your power to make that niche as profitable as possible. Personally, if I could have gone back, I probably would have tried a lot harder to land more travel and tourism jobs. I always told myself getting started that I wasn't experienced enough yet, and I had to wait to get better to start shooting tourism commercials. But then ironically, the first tourism job I got, the client was super happy, they signed me on for more work after the fact, and I thought to myself, you know, I could have been doing this the whole time. So, moral of the story here is to not let limiting beliefs hold you back from pursuing something that could make you extremely happy and fulfilled when it comes to the work you do. It's not always the easiest thing in the world to get started, but man, is it worth it when you look back. Now, I personally believe the number one thing that causes people to sometimes lack a bit of confidence in themselves is feeling like you haven't mastered the fundamentals and built a solid foundation for yourself. There's a ton of valuable information on YouTube when it comes to filmmaking, but there is no consolidated curriculum. So it's easy to feel like there are gaps in our knowledge because each video doesn't seamlessly lead into the next. Now, if you are someone who values a streamlined learning process, I think you'd love our online filmmaking course, 14-Day Filmmaker. This is the world's most affordable and effective online filmmaking program, and I'm not just blowing smoke here. We have over 22,000 students from all over the world and thousands of positive reviews from students who are accomplishing amazing things. The course covers absolutely everything you know to master the fundamentals of filmmaking and level up your content creation skills so you can grow your business and go full-time extremely fast. The program includes over 100 streamlined video tutorials where each video seamlessly leads into the next. You get access to our private community where we host weekly Q&A calls. You get free bonuses like hundreds of sound effects, pricing guides, cheat sheets. We even help our students save tons of money by including a 60% off discount on the Adobe Creative Cloud apps like Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop, Lightroom, and tons more. That one discount pays for the price of the entire program. You get lifetime access to all of that for less than the price of a trip to the grocery store. If that sounds exciting, I'd love to work with you, and there's a link to enroll underneath this video. Other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.